Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys B and L, Bert and Lanny, the Dividend Diplomats, guys, the dividend champions of the world. And we're here to talk to you about dividend stock purchases we made the week of May 22nd, heading into this wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Before we talk about it, subscribe to the channel. Give this video a nice thumbs up, everybody. Help us out. Help spread the word of dividend growth investing and reaching financial freedom. That's what it's all about. But this is a big week. We don't need to recap the news of what happened because we covered the big stories on yesterday's video. So check that video if you want to see what was driving the market this week and what led to a lot of these dividend stock purchases.
Yeah, I mean, guys, definitely check it out. Three big pieces of news that's really been carrying what's been going on in the stock market. But guys, no matter what the news is, put those headphones on, stay with your business, keep consistently saving and investing, because that's what Bert and I continue to do each and every week. I cannot say it enough. When stock market goes up, we're buying. Stock market goes down, we're buying. Stock market stays flat. Yeah, we're buying.
Yeah, we're buying in all those situations. So they're buying. There was a lot of it. It was heavily weighted towards one of us this week. So let's get right in. Let's get started.
All right, let's
Start seeing those purchases. Lanny, you kick this one off.
All right, guys. So we'll start with the normal weekly stuff here. You know, my Vanguard trifecta, you betcha strategy right now on the ETFs here. My wife and I have been buying VYM, Vanguard's high dividend yield ETF, ever since July of 2020. We are into 3-year territory here, guys, as we are marching towards 1,000 total shares. And the question we keep getting is, are you going to keep going? You bet your damn ass we're going to keep going. So this week, we bought 3 shares for my wife's account, which was up 1 share that we usually do because they dipped down to 101 and some change. So bought 3 shares at an average price of 102.92. I ended up doing, instead of just the 300 automatic weekly, I did add in another 100 towards the end of the week as well. So I grabbed 3.86478 shares. So in total, 6.86478 shares. I grabbed it at $103.50. So in total, we dropped over $700, added over $22 in dividend income at a yield of about 3.2% on VYM.
Beautiful. It's crazy to see VYM hovering around that $100 per share mark once again. It's a good time to keep grabbing, keep building in, and you're sprinkling in some extra, especially when the market gave you some nice opportunities at the end of the week to do so. When, in particular, Thursday, the day you threw in the extra $100, it's just a crappy day in the market overall. So nice job.
You know, jump when the opportunity's there. You know, did our $40 a day into Vanguard's appreciation, dividend appreciation ETF, VIG. Average price of $154, added 1.3 shares and added $3.85 at a yield of 1.93%. Did our automatic $60 a day in a VOO, the S&P 500 ETF, 0.7858 shares, average price of $381.77, added $4.68 at a yield of 1.56%. Oof.
Beautiful. So just to summarize there, Lanny added to VYM, VIG, VOO, in the regular automated and then some on top. In total, put over $1,200 into Vanguard ETFs alone, which added a total dividend income of $31.23 just from Vanguard ETFs. Not the individual stocks, which we'll get to, but the Vanguard ETFs. Very nice.
Guys, if you're buying ETFs, no matter what, let us know in the comments below. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bert, what was your first dividend stock purchase this week?
Well, normally it's SCHD for my wife, but as I was telling Lanny, I just completely forgot to put that in, and I didn't catch that I didn't put that in all week. So we did not buy our regular 2 shares of SCHD. Unfortunately, hey, stock price came down. I'll pick it up again on Tuesday, so I'll be able to start grabbing more shares of SCHD. It happens. World's still turning. Not the end of the world. Overall, though, for me, this was still a light week in the stock market. Regardless, I didn't buy much, which was weird given the drops, but it is what it is. Let's start with it. I only bought 2 stocks. I'll talk about this first one, and then we'll kick it back to Lanny. Tyson, ticker symbol TSN. Been all over adding Tyson over the last few weeks and over the last 5 or 6 months. It was a buy for me when it was around 60. It's going to continue being a buy for me when it's around 50. It got pummeled after its terrible quarter. To me, it's just another opportunity to keep adding, lowering my cost basis, and getting Tyson close to 100 shares in total. We picked up 3 shares at 51.36 for a cost of $154.08. adding $5.76 of income. The yield on that purchase was 3.74%.
Now the big debate here is too, aren't you getting close to 100 shares of Tyson?
Yeah, I'm right around 87 shares, I think. So I have 13 more to go with Tyson. So it gets
15 more
close.
to go.
We're getting there.
Really freaking close.
Yeah, and I think I was going to keep buying SCHD for my wife and Tyson for myself up until I get to the 100 shares of Tyson. Fun thing, Lanny, fun fact, and then we'll move back to you. Their ex-dividend date is May 31st. So these 3 shares snuck in right before the ex-dividend date. So I'm able to capture that for that June 15th payout.
Nice job, Bert. On the road to not just WrestleMania, but to 100 shares.
Yes. So what about you, Lanny? Why don't you give us your next little tranche of purchases for the week?
So, ended up buying, obviously you caught the video of trying to get to 100 shares of UPS and CVS. So I did buy 1 share of CVS on the Monday, the 22nd at $68.78. That was yield of 3.52%, adding $2.42. Ended up buying 2 shares of UPS during the week at an average price of $169.64. And I added $12.96 in forward dividend income at a yield of 3.82%. And then, guys, I love my Lyondell Basel. They dropped, a couple dollars before 90. So I grabbed 1 share at 87.75, added $5 in forward dividend income at a yield of 5.70%. And guys, we got to bring in Big Red, Kane. No, not Kane, but Verizon. Ticker symbol VZ. It's funny. I saw him go under 36, so I bought a share at pretty much. I look at the price, 35.97, and then I thought, well, if it gets below 35, let me put a trade in for there for 34.89. That one triggered as well, so I bought 2 shares of Verizon. Average price was 35.43. Dividends added 5.22 at a yield of 7.37%.
Interesting. Look, and that was a funny tweet we had where we talked about is Verizon. What point is too low for Verizon? And it got a lot of emotions bringing out. Some people said they're grabbing up Verizon and scooping it up at this price. A lot of people are saying it's a yield trap and it's conservative. That said, ignoring the noise from both sides of this, you have a position in Verizon. You've built an established position already. So you found a great opportunity to lower your cost basis with Verizon.
I did, and I know it's a gamble a little bit, but obviously averaging down in the price, 2 shares. So we'll have to see what happens with Big Red. Bert, what else did you end up buying then? And I know you're maybe less active week.
Yes. All right, everyone. Hopefully you're sitting down for this massive purchase that we had here. 1 share of Canadian Imperial, ticker symbol CM. We hold this Canadian bank in our Roth, and we've been building a position over the years. Banking's been pummeled. Canadian Imperial in particular has been pummeled. It's back down to almost $40 a share. We grabbed that 1 share at $41.91. Adding, I just pegged it at $250 of dividend income. That's always in flux compared to what you do, what it is. But that's good enough for now. It's the yield on that purchase was $5, 5.97%. So sit down, everybody. Don't want to miss that purchase.
Yeah, especially after they had just a nice little pickup in the dividend increase, quote unquote. Even though, again, as Bert mentioned, the currency translation sometimes you don't really see that or feel that.
Yeah, so that was it for me for the week. Let's get back to you, Lanny, so you can round out and finish your purchases.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do another quick round out here, guys. Not going to spend too much time, but bought 1 share of Broadstone Net Lease, B&L, the big REIT that I moved from Store Capital. If you guys remember that, REIT got merged and acquired. So I moved it into B&L, bought 1 share. This was after I realized, and I sent Bert a text, I didn't realize B&L had a really small increase a month or 2 ago, maybe 3 months ago. I just didn't even record it or, take note of that. So they even might have another one coming up, but bought one at $15.28 at $1.12 at a yield of 7.33%. Obviously, the yield's gone way up because the stock price has started to drop again because of borrowing rates going up. So making it a little bit tighter on the margin for the REIT. Ended up buying 1 share as well on my wife's account for Essential Utilities, the big utility company. Really used to be Water or Aqua. WTRG is the ticker symbol. Anytime I see it under 40, I like it. $39.82, added $1.15 in dividends at a yield of 2.88%. Similarly, in my wife's account, I know, guys, let's hear it in the comments below if you also were buying this Dividend Aristocrat stock. Yeah, Walgreens, ticker symbol WBA. I saw them get below 30. Yeah, Bert's ducking from all
Ducking
the
for cover on that one because people
uh,
have their emotions about Walgreens
yeah,
too.
20. I was like, all right, let's just average down one share at 29.95, added $1.92 at a yield of 6.41% for my wife.
I mean, hey, you know what? We have these positions. It's not like you're building new positions. You're lowering the cost basis on stocks you already own at insane prices. So that is great there for your tranche of purchases. Beautiful job, Lanny. Did that round it out for you for the week?
That rounded it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, how about this? Let me give you a minute to catch your breath because you've been talking a lot more with your purchases. I'll go through my purchases for the week. Tyson, Canadian Imperial. We added $195.99, $8.26 of income at a yield of 4.21%. One of the lightest weeks I've had in years.
Well, I'm sure you'll be well making up for it here this upcoming week after Memorial Day is over.
Yes, that's absolutely right. So what about you, Lanny?
Through the Vanguard ETF purchases, VYM, VIG, VOO, picking up CVS, UPS, LYB, Verizon, VZ, BNL, WTRG, and WBA. I think the whole alphabet is in the tickers here. Deployed $1,860.47 and added $61.02 in forward dividend income, that passive income stream at a yield of 3.28%.
So in total, $2,056 for your boys were added this last week with no help from me really on that one. Total dividend income, $69.28. So everybody, let us know what stocks have you been purchasing lately. Let us know what you think about these purchases. Are you grabbing Verizon, Walgreens at these prices, or are you steering clear and just going the full-blown ETF route? Let us know down there below.
And guys, make sure to stay tuned on Tuesday's video as we dive into some of Bert's stocks that he is watching heading into the month of June. Again, guys, keep saving, keep investing, build that passive income stream, NWO style. If you're not with us, you're against us. That was Bert, the Hurt, and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.